Hey everybody, welcome to class. What we're going to do now is we're going to continue to talk about our pet peeves. What pet peeves are things that annoy you. They're different things that annoy you. So for instance, if somebody's talking with their mouth full, that can be an annoyance. It can be something that you don't like, okay? All right? There's different pet peeves that we have in our lives. In fact, some of us ourselves, we also have we do pet peeves, things that people don't like that we do, bad habits and so forth. Okay. Hey, Chow, how are you?
I'm fine. So,
Good.
teacher, could we talk about a little bit about the inbound marketing?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
My understanding about it is the idea of it is to make the products, the advertisement of the product more meaningful and to attract the potential customers into this product, not just put the products to the masses and to be more effective. And I think also building up the reputation authority is important. And I also think this method also applied. It has some applied for some particular products like rational products, not the emotional product like food or some emotional consumption. So that is my understanding.
Nishitala. Perfect, Chow. Excellent.
Thank you.
I mean, that was just perfect. Absolutely perfect. I mean, that's, and that's exactly what it is. It's more rational products than emotional products. It's products that people actually need. And also, too, a lot of this are information-based products, okay?
Yes.
All right, like with the radiology, when I was giving that example, that person might not even be selling a software program. They could just be selling like, hey, listen, take my online course in how to become a better radiologist, how to spot out certain things, okay? So yeah, absolutely. You said it as if you've written it. I mean it too. I'm not joking with you. You did such a great job. I'm very impressed that in one class you picked up on that. So good.
And I think the advertisement of the verbally is also great. I was impressed about it.
Yep. Where did you see it at first? Did you see it on a blog, or how did you see Verbling? How did you see the advertisement, or where?
I just look in my Google account and I see the Google Hangout. There was one class record, so I just check it and I see, oh, it is a great website. And I think one attractive of this class is the part of this class is free and it attracts many people. And by the time they just fall in love with the website and they want to learn more and want to be how to say so they choose the membership and so just step by step.
Yep. So that's when you get to this phase, when you convert leads to sales, right?
Yes. Filter the potential customer.
Yep. Absolutely, and go back again with different products to sell to them. So good, very good. Let's see who else is here. Hello, Pablo. Hi, Pablo.
Hello, how are you?
Doing well, Pablo. Welcome to class. Always
Thank
good
you.
to
Thank you, Bret. Thank you.
Always good to have you in class. So Pablo, we're going to work on pet peeves. Pet peeves are things that annoy you. Okay.
Yeah.
So like
I have one in mind.
You have one in mind? Okay.
Yes.
One that you do? Yep.
That I do. Yes.
Okay. So good. So let's just, let me bring this up before I switch this around, okay? So good, and people will be coming and going as usual. So let's just get straight into this. I'm going to try to keep the screen as large as I can so that everybody will be able to see what's on the screen, but I'll also give you the link as well. Need it, okay? All right, let's see who else is in here. Hello, Eric. Hi, Eric. Hi, Eric. How are you?
Fine. Thank you, teacher. I'm in
Okay.
the class again.
Okay, yeah. Microphone a little bit, please. Can you turn up your microphone?
Can you hear me better? Hello?
Much better. Yep, yes, much better, much better. Good to see you, Eric. Welcome to another class, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hello, Selma. Hi, Selma.
Hello, teacher.
Hey, Selma, how are you today?
I'm fantastic, thank you.
Good, good. And Selma, can you turn up your microphone a little bit more, just so it's easier to hear you? Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Luckily, I have good ears, but you might want to turn up more just so people in the class can hear you, okay?
Okay.
Well, yeah, it's a little bit better, maybe a little bit more. That would be good. Okay, so good. And where are you from, Selma?
I am from Algeria, North Africa.
Okay, good, good, good. Hello, Lama. Hi, Lama. Hello, Lama. And Lama, make sure that you unmute your microphone, Lama. And if you have problems with the system, what you can do is I'll give you a link here. Okay, good, good, good. How are you, Lama?
I'm fine, thank you. How are
Good.
you?
Doing well, Lama, doing well. Where are you from, Lama?
I'm from Saudi Arabia.
Okay, good, good, good. Very, very nice, very nice. Okay, okay. So, Rodolfo, I found the another class. Okay, glad, Rodolfo. Glad you like that, Rodolfo. So good, good, good. Let's see here. And what you want to say, Rodolfo, just so you know, you want to say I found the other class very useful. The other, okay? So if you'd say another, you'd be talking probably about one different than what I gave, okay? The other class maybe that you had, okay? Hello, Louise, or Luis Antonio, okay? By the way, Lama, if you can turn up your microphone just a little bit more, that would be great, okay? If you can turn up your microphone just a little more. So what we're talking about here is we're going to be talking about, let me make sure, okay. Let's see, actually let me push this up a little bit more. See, we're on the wrong one. Okay, so what we're going to be talking about are things that annoy us, okay? These might slightly annoy you. So if something annoys you, it's like, you know, maybe your neighbor playing loud music. Like, oh my gosh, why do I have to play that loud music? I'm just trying to study English. You might also have it to where you're talking to somebody and they have their mouth full of food and they're talking to you and you can see the food in their mouth, okay? You might also, something that might annoy you might be if somebody is talking loud on a cell phone in a public place, okay? Different things like that. Not all of these things will annoy you, but many of them will. And you might also be one of the people that is causing these annoyances. Also, annoyances are not only things that people cause, but just certain things happening might cause you to be annoyed, okay? So I'm going to start right to left this time. Hello, Selma. Hi, Selma.
Hello, teacher.
So, Selma, can you read
Yes.
this here? Can you read what's here in the gray?
Okay. When you ask for lots of ketchup and they give you only 2 or 3 pockets.
Packets. So these are ketchup packets, okay? So like if you're in McDonald's or something, right? If you're in McDonald's, you know? So,
Yes.
yeah, so if you're in McDonald's, they might not give you enough packets. So do you eat fast food, Selma?
No, I don't eat fast food.
Good, Good. You're probably better off because of it. But yeah, this is when you're there and they don't give you enough. Does anybody here eat a lot of fast food or eat a good amount of fast food?
I used to eat fast food, but not anymore.
Yep. Well,
Maybe once in a month, maybe.
yeah, once in a month. Yep.
Maybe,
So
yeah.
yeah. When you go to eat fast food, does this ever happen to you where you ask for a condiment? Remember, a ketchup is a condiment. Okay. Other types of condiments that you'll find. Let's just look at condiments. Okay. Okay. So these are different types of condiments that you have. Ketchup, mustard, relish. Does that annoy you when you ask for a condiment and they only give you like 1 packet or 2 packets? Right?
No, because I only ask one ketchup with my Big Mac.
Okay, well, good.
Oh,
You're not as gluttonous as all of us crazy Americans are.
no.
It's no wonder we're so big. So good. Hello, Raphael. Hi, Raphael. Okay. Oh, Raphael's gone. Okay, looks like you're next, Pablo. So, Pablo, how about this? Can you read this one?
Shopping carts with a broken wheel. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
That's annoying. Yes.
yeah, when it rattles like that, or it make.
You try to go. Yeah. You are trying to go straight, and it's turning to one side.
Yeah,
have to move,
exactly.
yeah.
Okay, so you have that broken wheel on there. So does everybody know what this means? Does anybody know? When you have a shopping cart with the wheel that's broke. Does anybody run into this problem?
I did.
Yep. So you ran into it. Yeah, I think we all have kind of ran into it. I wonder if there's a nice YouTube video that show a shopping cart with a broken wheel, because some of you might not quite understand that. Okay. No, I don't think there's going to be anything. Almost everything's on YouTube, but I guess not everything. But yeah, it's really annoying when you have one of those because you have to go around the whole time listening to it rattle, 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 rattle. Okay. Okay, so let's see in here. Let's go on to the next one. Yeah. Some of these we're going to skip just because they might not be relevant. Hello, Louise. Hi, Louise.
Hello?
How about this one here, Louise? Can you read this? Sitting in the movie?
Yes, I can. Sitting in the movies and hear someone eating popcorn.
Yep. So do you know, what about you? Does this happen to you? Have you ever brought somebody to the movie theater and they're next to you just chomping away at popcorn? You can barely hear the movie?
It's very boring.
Well, it's very annoying, right? Very annoying. Yeah, just listening to crunch, 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 crunch. Is anybody here one of those people that really, when they're crunching down on their popcorn in the movie theater, almost everybody can hear? Is anybody here like that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Good.
It's very annoying.
Pablo, yeah, it's very annoying. Pablo, the thing I like about you is you're so open about everything. You're a very, very open individual. It's always good having you in class. Yeah, I mean, we all do things like this, okay? Come on, Sometimes we're in the movie theater and we're just watching a movie and we don't realize that we're just really chomping away at our popcorn, especially if it's like a scary movie, right? So, if you have a scary movie.
You know what the secret is? You have to go to movies Monday. No one is in the movie.
Yeah.
If you go Friday or Saturday, Monday after lunch, the room all empty.
Yep.
At
You're
least
right.
here, yes. I like cinema, being alone in the cinema. Yes, it's very annoying for me.
Yeah.
People talking and coughing and everybody's coughing. Always when I go to the movies and uh, everybody's coughing. No, never there is a one person healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There is always at least one person sick and coughing. And that's annoying. And that's very annoying. That's
Yeah.
worse than listening Justin Bieber. That's worse. That's very annoying for me.
Yep, yep. Yeah, and it's good. You know, I'm very lucky because I teach online, right? So I get to choose my days off. So where I live right now, Saturday and Sunday is when everybody has off. So I try to take off Thursday and Friday so that way you don't have to deal with all these annoying people, right? And all the traffic and everybody coughing and everything else. Yep, you're right. That's a good way to avoid annoying people. You know?
If your work allows you to that, you know, if
Yeah. Yep.
not everybody can go to the cinema on Mondays. I mean, but if you can, if it's a good advice.
Yep. Yep. Well, for me, you know, most teachers don't want to work on Saturday and Sunday. Okay, so therefore, I'm lucky enough. You know, I just take those days. I don't care. I'd rather have the days off when nobody's around. Okay, so good, good, good. Yep. If you're lucky enough, computer programmers can usually choose when they can have days off. Okay, so let's see. Llama. Hey, Llama.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Llama. How about this? Bathing suit tops.
I don't understand this.
It's okay. That's why we're here. Okay. Okay. So, for instance, if somebody's wearing just like a bathing suit top, like her, if she was wearing like a bathing suit top as clothing, like this girl here, okay? Some women walk around where they're wearing a bathing suit top as clothing, all right? So maybe to some men that's not annoying, okay? But to people, it might be annoying, all right? Especially other women. They don't like to see women walking around like that, okay? All right. Here, read this next one. Go ahead. I'll give you this next one. This one's easier to understand. How about this one, Llama? Can you read this?
People who make their noise in public.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
it is annoying.
So, like a little kid. Is somebody blowing their nose right now?
Not me.
So it is. I'm convinced, Pablo. Wherever you go, there will be a sick person.
Yes.
So there's a sick person in class right now.
I don't like this.
Yeah, I don't like seeing people pick their nose in public. You know.
Yeah, my daughter
So.
do like this. I always asking her to stop this habit.
Yeah, and you want to say, my daughter always does this. Okay, my daughter always does this. Okay, that's all you need to say. You know, or yeah, my daughter does this all the time. It's really annoying, and it's a bad habit for her, right? A bad habit. Okay. Okay. So hey guys, by the way, for some reason I can't see where the sound's coming from. So I'm just going to have to ask you guys to make sure you mute yourself when you're not speaking, because somebody's in there going and then somebody's typing now. So let's see everybody. Hello, Tolga.
Hello,
Hi, Tolga. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. So, Tolga, we're talking about things that annoy us, okay? Things that annoy us, all right? Okay?
Okay.
So good, good. Welcome to class. Okay, Raphael, are you working now? Is your microphone working?
Yeah, I think so. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So good, good, good. All right. So, let's see. Let's check here. Okay. All right, so let's go in. And by the way, make sure that you have, so Raphael, there's a bit of an echo coming from you. Make sure that you have earbuds or that, okay? So let me show you. So you want to have like earbuds or you want to have a headset. And I realize everybody's computer, like mine, to use a headset, I do. but I wouldn't have to just because it wouldn't make an echo. But I think, Raphael, I think yours is making a bit of an echo. And yeah, it definitely is because I just muted you and I can hear there's no echo. Okay, so let's go on to the next one, okay? All right. So here, let's see. Eric, can you read this? Car passengers?
Car passenger that throw their door wide open without first checking to make sure it's safe to do so.
Mm-hmm.
It's happened with the people in my country using the concho. The concho is a public car people use for public transportation.
Mm-hmm.
And when the passenger asks the driver for a stop because they want to leave the car, they open the door and don't see behind. And sometimes some motorcycle approach and almost, I never see, but almost blow up the door, almost crash the door.
Yep, got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. They almost smash right into the door, so it opens like this. They don't look. They don't look. Yep. So yeah, they can injure other people. So has anybody ever seen a suicide door? Has anybody ever seen that? It's okay, guys. So they don't really make these anymore. It's called a suicide door. So do you see this? I'm just telling you, it's exactly what it's called. Okay. And here's
the picture.
Yeah. So that's a suicide door. That back one's a suicide door. You see how that opens up?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool, huh? You know, here's a suicide door as well. Here's another picture. So yeah, they really don't like to make suicide doors. And typical cars, they don't. Usually like the luxury cars. But nobody's ever seen a suicide door before?
No.
Those are
yes, in the car, fantastic car.
Yeah, like in the high price, like big luxury cars, you can see some suicide doors. I think the RX-7 had a suicide door. I think that's probably about the lowest one. I think the RX-7.
But I never know. It's new for me. Suicide door is the name for that. Okay.
Yep, it's called a suicide door. Okay. And I guess an RX-7 doesn't have it. And one of the most famous cars with a suicide door was a Lincoln. These cars were awesome. Continental. Oh, here, let me just, those come up with famous old cars, okay? Beautiful old cars, okay? So good. So let's go on. And by the way, guys, make sure you're not making any extra sound, like moving around. Just mute yourself when you're not speaking, okay? Tolga. Hi, Tolga. How about the next here? Can you read this?
Lazy people.
Yeah, lazy people. Are you lazy at all, Tolga?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, I think we're all lazy from time to time. But do lazy people annoy you?
Sorry, I can't understand.
It's okay. Do lazy people, do they annoy you? Does it bother you to be around lazy people? No?
No.
So it doesn't bother you maybe if you have a lazy person in your house that leaves out dirty dishes? That doesn't bother you?
No.
Really? Okay. No problem. I'm surprised. Does it bother you when you're around lazy people, guys?
A lot of people in my nears very lazy people. I have very lazy friend, so it's don't okay.
Okay. Does anybody here get annoyed by lazy people? Am I the only one? Did they build this one thing here? Yeah.
No, teacher, because I got also very angry when I see lazy people, especially in the kitchen. When I am doing all the cooking and the girls are just talking to each other and there is no help from them, I blow my fuse.
So you say you blow your top. I blow my top. That's when you get really mad. Yeah, it's okay. And I wasn't at all about you with missing the expression. I was just thinking about how my sister-in-laws, okay? So a lot of times in your family, like if you have sister-in-laws and so forth, you know, it seems like one of the sister-in-laws is doing all the work, you know, and the other ones are just sitting around just talking, yeah, you know, and they get mad at the other ones. They're lazy. They're lazy. How about you, Chow? Do you have any lazy people around you? Does that bug you?
Yes, and but there is a lazy roommate, but actually I'm living in my dorms now, so but he's not here. I hope the other roommates won't understand me this moment. So, and one thing he don't wash his how to say sock.
Socks. He has dirty socks, which is the
yes,
worst
and
part.
he threw away, and you know sometimes everywhere in the floor, and it was annoying. And but I think it is not something about his how to say his quality.
It's part of his character, maybe. So
Yeah,
part of
his
his
character.
character.
So sometimes it annoys me, but we are good friends. So
Yep.
I can understand. I can bear it.
Yep, very good, very good. You're using all proper words, and also too, I think you said throw away when you meant to say he would throw them anywhere. Okay. All right. So you just kind of throw them anywhere, and you're right. So character, so part of a character. So a person, as far as their character or their characteristics, okay, a person can be lazy, or otherwise a person can be industrious, which is the opposite of being lazy. All right. A person can also be a type of person that doesn't take good care of themselves, or a person that does take good care of themselves. Right. Okay.
Teacher, what is the difference between the personality and character?
Oh yeah, so a personality, I mean, some are very similar, but a personality, when you talk about that, it's somebody who's like happy, somebody who's sad, that's their personality, somebody who's easy to anger, all right? But it's also a characteristic of that person, part of their character. So what you get is, you know, as far as the character itself, all right, there'll be different personality traits as far as that. Now, if you're talking about like, wow, hey, who is that? Is it Luis? Okay. So yeah, when you're talking about like characteristics as far as like different character. All right. It's like a whole series of different things that you have in there. Okay. So it's like it kind of makes up who they are. All right. Whether if they're religious, honest, patient, you know, these are all different things of character traits that make up their character. All right. And then you say characteristics of a person. Oh, well, what's a characteristic of them? Oh, they're a very kind person. Okay. So do you see how these kind of all merge together? They're very synonymous, okay? So, and you also have specific things like their personality traits, okay? So their personality traits might be they're happy, they're sad, and then you'll have their physical traits or their physical characteristics, whether they're fat or skinny, okay? All right?
I see, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. There's a lot to it, but it all kind of comes together. Okay, so let's continue on here. So let's go to the next one. Yeah, so the guys are going to understand this more than the females will. So actually, I'll have Pablo read this just because the guys will understand this more than the women will. Pablo, can you read this? People who talk about.
People who talk about their favorite sports team and say we like they are a part of the team.
Yeah. So do you have your friends say, "Oh yeah, we scored that goal"? Okay. Or, we scored that touchdown, or we won the game. And what happens is some people, it annoys them because it's like, wait, you didn't do anything. You're just watching that favorite sports team. So yeah, so this doesn't annoy everybody, but some people it can really annoy. Okay, right. And by the way, guys, if you have
If,
any questions, just let me know. Okay. All right. Okay.
actually, Brett,
Go ahead.
here in Argentina, uh, for example, if it's a soccer uh, a soccer play, a soccer game,
Hmm.
and you are from Boca Juniors, and your neighborhood is from River. River is the opposite, the the opposite team. Uh, Here used to people go outside and scream to their neighborhoods. We beat you, something like that.
Yeah, and you know what?
So yes,
Yeah, that's more acceptable. Okay, because that is like your own hometown, right? Okay, so what happens though is, let's say, was it Messi or Mercy? Who's the famous soccer player from
Messi,
Argentina? Messi. So
Lionel
let's
Messi.
yeah, so let's say that you like Barcelona. Now they're your favorite team. All right, and then for some reason, one of your buddies, he likes, shoot, I am so bad when it comes to football. Let's say that he likes,
Real
one of
Madrid.
the yeah, Madrid, okay? And then,
Sí.
Barcelona beats Madrid and you say, "Oh, we beat you." Do you really have any affiliation with them? Is it really where you beat them? Okay? So that's
Uh,
that's where it gets to
yeah.
be annoying. Like, like you're part of the team, you're the team captain, you know? Does that
Yes,
make more
that's
sense?
yes. Now I get it. Yes, that's very annoying
Yeah.
for other people. Yes.
Yeah, because they didn't do anything. And even though
Yeah.
yeah, the soccer players for your hometown, they're the ones playing, but you still say we because that's part of your hometown. Maybe one of your friends is playing, from that team and so forth, or for that team. Okay? So good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So let's see here. So Selma, and I'll need to
Yes.
explain this, Selma, but it's okay. Can you read this? People who love to point out.
Okay. People who love to point out how wrong everyone else is why they are a walking train wreck.
Yeah, so this is a train wreck, okay? But a train wreck is an idiom, okay? A train wreck is an idiom for somebody whose life is a mess, okay? And please pardon me, I hope I don't offend anybody, okay? But let's say that, and sometimes people's lives can be a mess, okay? I mean, heck, mine was a mess before, and not because of anything except I had failed businesses. I just did, just crazy stuff happened, and it's all my fault. I can't blame anybody else. But anyway, so sometimes people's life can be a train wreck. Maybe for some reason they're recently, they have a problem with their marriage, okay? Maybe they're drinking all the time. Maybe they are too lazy to get a good job, okay? So they're a walking train wreck. They have all these problems, but yet they're the first to always be pointing out, oh, well, Janice, here's Janice's problem. Janice's kids don't listen to her, or, maybe she drinks a little too much, right? Different things like that. Do you have anybody around you, Selma, that's like that, where they'll point out the problems of everybody else while they have a lot of problems?
I always go banana when people start advising me, especially if they are bad people, or if they don't know how to. I mean, if they I didn't know their backgrounds. So,
Mm-hmm.
for instance, I had a girlfriend who was advising me about a certain boy, and you shouldn't do that while she was doing that. So we have an idiom here in my country. We say, first look at yourself, then come and judge me or advise me.
Yep, and let me help you with something, okay? You want to say my friend that was giving me advice, okay? Somebody won't advise you, okay? They'll give you advice. They were giving me advice, okay? But good, very good. You're understanding the point of this. And also, too, you go bananas. I went bananas when my friend was trying to give me advice, but yet her life is such a train wreck, right? You know, right? Okay, because they don't have things together. Yeah, and we talk about take a look in the mirror first, right?
Okay.
Yes.
I really realize that, you know, not everybody likes Michael Jackson, okay? But really, probably one of his best songs was Man in the Mirror, okay? Right? Because there's so many of us that, oh, you know, we're going to change the world, we're going to do this. But yet we have to take care of our own problems first, right? You know, you have to start with yourself. Yeah, so a lot of people whose lives are out of control, they want to give a lot of advice, you know, a lot of advice. They're probably the worst advisors. Anybody else have any friends or anybody like this? Does anybody not understand this one? Okay. All right. So here, let's go on to the next one, okay? Louise, or is it Louis? Is it Louis? I'm so sorry. I'm so terrible with names. Is it Louis or is it Louise? How do I pronounce your name?
Louis.
Louis. So Louis. Pardon me, Louis. What country are you in, Louis? Are you in Brazil?
I'm from Brazil.
Okay, good. Can you read this one here? People who don't care about.
Okay, I will try. People who don't care what's going on in our country.
In our country, yeah. And that would be like, yeah, so when you're saying that, so you'd be talking about people in Brazil that don't care about what's going on in Brazil, okay? Like Pablo, people don't care about what's going on in Argentina. Chow, in his country in China, it would annoy him if people don't care about what's going on in their country. How about you, Louis? Yes.
Teacher. The teacher in my country, we call people like this plastic people.
Plastic people. Yep. Okay. Because they just don't care about anything except themselves. You know, they don't really care about.
Only want to foreign things. Only they thinking they are in North America. Sorry, I know we want to.
No. Hey, listen, it's okay. It's okay. You know, I'm the type of person that, you know, I realize there's a lot wrong with the United States. Okay, I get it. You know, I get it. And there's, you know, there's a lot wrong with some of the mentality, and I myself have even had to change based upon that. So no problem. And how about you, Louis, Antonio? Does that happen to you? Do you see that with a lot of people in your country?
I think so. Everywhere, it's always people blaming our country for insatisfaction about the public politics, misery, poverty, and the other things like this.
Yep. But there's just people, though. So this isn't so much like the last thing where people are train wrecks and they're not taking care of themselves. So this is just when they don't stay informed with the latest that's going on in their country, you know. When they just don't really care, you know. So they don't really care at all. So how about you, Evelyn? Hello, Evelyn.
Hi, teacher. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Welcome to class, Evelyn. So how about you?
Okay.
How about people in your country? Do you see a lot of people that don't care about what's going on? And maybe you're one of those people, and it's okay. But do you know people that aren't informed about what's going on in their country? Do you see that a lot?
Yeah. Yeah. Here in Peru, it's usually it usually happens, especially about pollution. Yeah, they don't care a lot about that. Maybe we know that we have to we can do many practical things like recycling, but they don't care about that. I think the majority of Peruvian people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you know your neighbor Bolivia. Isn't Bolivia right next to Peru, right? Okay. So,
Yeah.
or very close. You know, Bolivia is one of those countries that is really, they really are tuned in to what's going on. You know, people there really do care a lot about what's going on. And one of the reasons why is because the government had made their water supply, they privatized their water supply. Okay. So if you guys ever get a chance, you can read about that. And they revolted. And ever since then, Bolivia, the people there are fairly informed about what's going on, and their government is really skeptical about anything that the United States or outside people do. In fact, Bolivia is one of the countries that's against GMOs, okay? Genetically modified organisms, okay? All right? And I don't know everything about South America. Don't get me wrong, okay? Don't get me wrong. I don't know enough about it. But I know that Bolivia is one of those countries that they try to stay informed, that they're trying to make sure that they don't get out of control. Okay? They don't get out of control. Okay? All right.
Teacher?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to say something about China. That it is very sad that many Chinese don't care about what's going on in China, especially the political things. And I think the reason is complex. You can see it because of the government, the ideology, because there is just one party and people will just say, oh, there is new president, but so what? And I think there is another reason, that is some Chinese, they are just suffering, they are just striving for a life, and they don't have the capacity to care about our country. And some people, they just criticize our government. They said the government is bad, is evil, and the corruption is so serious, but they just complain it and they don't do anything. And the other relatively rich people, they don't like our government and they go abroad. So I think our country needs some people who want to do something for our country. They realize the problem and they can contribute for our country. But the Chinese it is very difficult in China, and even for the Google Hangout, for the YouTube, the mainland of China can't access to this website. So I think it is a big problem, and it is a tough task for not only the government but also the Chinese people.
Yep. Very, very well put. Very well put. And again, being in China for 4 years, and I traveled there for many years, one of the things, though, about your government is they have to keep the people in control, right? Because I don't think people realize this, but the Chinese are extremely strong people, okay? They're extremely, and I'm not just saying that, child, because you're here. If people that are here in Southeast Asia, they'll understand that the Chinese run Southeast Asia, okay? In the Philippines, the main people that are running construction, that are running all this, they're Chinese Filipinos. In Vietnam, they are Chinese Vietnamese. In Malaysia, they're Chinese Malay. In Singapore, they're originally, a lot of them are from Hainan, right? Okay? And from other parts in China, they're running it. So very strong people. But also, too, China has a long history of revolting, right, when things are wrong. So I think your government is trying to control that as much as they can. But you're right, there's a lot of corruption, and people, I don't think people want to feel that there's corruption, right, Chow? Because they want to feel like everything's going well. Sometimes they say ignorance is bliss. Have you ever heard that?
But yes, and especially in the 5 years ago, and the people just keep in, and they don't want to, and they afraid to tell the truth, and they just keep the truth in their mind. So they are afraid of something. The central power is so strong, or something else. So I think education should be and need some education, and maybe only education can save Chinese problem. I think, and to revolution or some else is it will hurt the people. At least I think the war or revolution is bad. I don't want to be radical. So but
you're right.
To be some change.
Yeah, you're right. Like education, and you can also be pacifist. Somebody like Gandhi, right? Nelson Mandela. Those are the type of people where they had change without people leading towards bloodshed. Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Good. Very good points. And people do need to become educated in what's going around them, but they also have to make sure they get the right information.
Yes.
Right? So that's one of the things too. You have to make sure there's not a lot of propaganda. Okay. Has to be a lot. And I'm sorry, I don't mean for this to be like that. Where they have a picture like that. Okay. Well, that's the Japanese, but still, it's a little racist as far as why they put it, right? But there's propaganda everywhere. Okay. Propaganda everywhere. All nations have some sort of propaganda, or almost all of them. Okay. Okay, good. Good. Oh, this one here is nice. Good points, everybody. Very good points, everybody. So let's see. Luis Jimenez. Hi, Luis Jimenez. Hello, Luis Jimenez. And Luis, you might have your microphone muted. Hello, Luis Jimenez. Hello. Hello, Luis! Luis Jimenez! Okay, let's go on. Hello, Jose. Hi, Jose. Hello, Jose Aguilar. Okay, all right. So Erica, always Erica, pet peeve. So Erica, you're a pet peeve. What were you saying here? Okay, let's go on. So Evelyn.
Because I was kidding with Evelyn.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't get to read all of it. Okay, so good. Is Evelyn being a pet peeve? So and sorry guys, I know we talked about China a little too much. Okay, but that's okay. All right. I hope that doesn't annoy you. But it is interesting, just to see the information, how it travels around in that country, and to see how many people do really care about what's going on and how many people don't. It's very tough. In the U.S., the same thing. Some people don't really care about what's going on in the United States because they have 2 cars, they have their house, everything else. They don't really care about all the bad stuff. Evelyn, next one here. Yeah, go ahead.
I know I want to tell Evelyn, but I want to ask you, I'm doing the pay pits. I prefer to say it before Evelyn or after Evelyn say what to say. Okay? I don't want to interrupt Evelyn. I don't want to be pet pit.
You don't. Okay, you don't want to be a pet peeve. You don't want to annoy her. Yeah. So again, pet peeves too. Yeah. So that would be if you did that a lot, right? If that was a habit. Yep. So okay. So good. I'm glad nobody's going to annoy anybody else. One of my pet peeves is just loud noise during class. Freak out for some reason. Okay, Evelyn, the next one here, being put on speaker.
Okay, being put on the speakerphone without warning.
Yeah. So does this ever happen when you're talking to somebody? Your phone and everybody can hear you.
To be honest, I don't understand the meaning of put on.
Yeah, it's okay.
Similar to put through.
No, so what happens, so you're talking about different phrasal verbs, right? So if you put someone through something, okay, then maybe, you're put through a tragic event, for instance, okay? I was put through 3 years of studying English, okay? So now what happens when you put on, okay? So you're not physically being put on it, obviously. What happens is you're just talking on your phone regularly, okay, and then somebody puts you on speakerphone. So on the other end, the person on the phone, now everybody can hear you instead of just going through the regular small speaker in the phone. And this is a speakerphone. This is what one looks like. But you can also have your speakerphone just on your. So this is where you have speakerphone. You see that?
Yes.
Yeah, so on the other end is where you'll have that, where you put on speakerphone. So sometimes, this most people don't like it just because then they can hear your conversation. Everybody else can hear your conversation, right? Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
So is to avoid listening to private conversation?
Well, exactly. So what happens is if somebody puts you on speakerphone, the conversation is no longer private because other people can hear the conversation, right?
Yeah.
That's why it annoys people. Yeah, my dad, for some reason, he always talks on speakerphone, and it drives everybody crazy. It does. It just drives everybody crazy because you can't have a normal conversation because whoever he's around you can talk to. But you gotta love your dad no matter what, right? So we all put up with it.
Yes.
Okay? That's just
Teacher.
life. Uh-huh.
I have a pet question for you.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
And you believe the two younger guys in Boston did the strike? They really did the strike?
Do I believe that they really did the strike? So
yeah.
I don't know what to believe anymore. There's an expression, believe only half of what you see and nothing of what you hear. And I'm just, you know what? People could say a pet peeve as far as about me. I'm kind of far removed from a lot of that in the United States, so I don't know. And I think even if for some reason there was some sort of government conspiracy, okay, then I don't know. I mean, what would happen? I don't think that anything would change. I think it would still be the same.
Yes.
Now, do I believe that when John F. Kennedy was shot, that was a government conspiracy? I believe that probably 100%. I just think it's just too crazy the way that happened. Okay? And if you look at even Lincoln, when Lincoln was assassinated, right? The person who assassinated him, he was killed right away. Isn't that a little odd?
Yes, a little odd, yes. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little
you
crazy.
Continue, say.
Yeah. So I don't know. You're welcome. Okay. And that's not so much a pet peeve. They talk about conspiracy theories. That's what they talk about, conspiracy theories. Okay. So. Okay, so these are conspiracy theories, like the man on the moon, right? George Bush, they believe he was involved in a lot of it,
Oh, the E.T.?
Yeah, so like extraterrestrials, so yeah, so it's kind of hard to understand, when it comes to aliens. How come we've never really seen aliens yet, right? Okay.
Yes.
So let's go on to the next one. Can you read this next one? I think it's your turn anyway, right? When people change the TV. Mm-hmm.
When people change the TV channel without asking.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody in your family do this? They change the channel on you when you're watching something without asking?
I do this
You do this a lot?
I do this a lot.
So does everybody else get mad at you?
My wife regrets about.
So yeah, so your wife, you know, it probably drives her nuts. You can say it drives her nuts, right? You know, so that's just when it
She said I'm going. I'm driving her crazy.
drive her crazy, drive her nuts.
I am very anxious, so I changed the channel TV all the time.
So yeah, so it's hard for you to just to stay tracked in on one thing. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. So good. And by the way, guys, I can't tell who the sound's coming from or anything anymore. Sometimes it does that in the Hangout, where I can barely even read the names. So just try to make sure where you're at. Okay. Yeah. So this is sometimes hard to understand. Like people in the United States, we walk into houses with shoes on. That's not the case over in Asia. So Chow, how about this? Can you read this next one?
The people who make you take off your shoes when you go into the house.
Yeah, so
it is common in China. But
Yep. So yeah, it's hard for people to understand. Like in the United States, most people walk into the house with the shoes on, right? In China, you never do that. I mean, I can't ever remember a house in China where I would walk in with the shoes on, right? You know? And then also, too, in China, sometimes at different houses, they'll have sandals waiting for you, right? They'll have sandals waiting for you, you know? So Pablo.
Yes.
Yeah, in Argentina, do you guys take your shoes off before going into another person's house? Or do you wear your shoes into their house?
No, never. We wear our shoes. Never happens that.
Yep. Well, in Asia, okay, almost everywhere you go, you take your shoes off before going to the house. You know, which is
yes,
Go ahead.
I knew that. Yes, I knew that.
Yeah.
Because of watching movies, you know. But I knew that. I never been in China, but I knew that.
Yeah, it's almost an all. Yeah, it's just a custom. It's a custom, right? And good use of that, because it's not a tradition really. It's just a custom. It's a way that we do it. So good that you know the difference. Good use of that word. So yeah, that's just what we do over here. We take our shoes off before going in, and a lot of times you'll have shoes